Is your frustration in your business that things are going well, but you feel like you're holding the business back? Too many times I see that businesses are thriving and everything's regime. The A to Z is being followed and you've progressed through different frameworks, through the sales ready frameworks and knowing where you're at. However, something's missing and you start feeling like an imposter within your own business. You start feeling like your own habits are actually affecting the performance of the business, that the business is better off without you, but you're not where you need to be. My suggestion is tracking yourself should be no different to the way you track your business. With yourself, you're the machine, you're the driver, you're living in this body and you're using your own mind. So do everything you can to make sure that the function of how you operate works. Choose habits that support your performance. You have your own body and your own mind, but if you're not supporting what you're trying to achieve by looking after yourself first, you can't impact that onto the business. My personal tracker is actually no different to my A to Z for the business. I make sure that my body's fit for purpose, within reason. Obviously, I have good habits and I have bad habits. And obviously food temptations and diet temptations and even workout temptations always dip and peak and trough. However, if I've got a whole list of jobs to do in the business, well, they get done. And if I've got targets that are set in the business, I hit my targets. I get my stuff done when I say I'm going to get it done. However, your simple points like going to the gym and eating well and walking the dog in the morning and the evening, those things start to differ. And I actually find that's going to happen more with the more temptation we get when we find it easy to find an hour to flick through social media, or we find it really easy to watch a whole season or binge watch a Netflix season. But actually we've not binged the gym, and we've not binged preparing all our food on Sunday for the meal ahead, or we've not binged on healthy eating and shopping. It's very fascinating when someone says, oh, it's not that I'm eating bad, it's just that I always end up going to the snack cupboard. Well, don't have a snack cupboard then. Go and have a cupboard where you can grab something out, you won't feel guilty. Or it's just too easy to grab a can out of the fridge, a pop or a beer. Well, have something in the fridge that's nice to drink. You can have decaf tea, you can have decaf coffee, fruit juice. There's all sorts of things you can have. But when you start tracking yourself and your goals, it stops really small things taking such an effect on the business. And it could be that you're stressed because your car tax is due, or you've got to make this payment, or you've got to finish this bill or settle this bill. And little things that you'd normally have at home start dragging into your workload. So I believe in having a pipeline for your business, but most importantly, having a pipeline for your own day as well. Whether in your business you have a professional CRM, where you start tracking all of your jobs and tasks and moving them through and delegating them, have that in life. If you can arrive at work, or you arrive at your desk, or you arrive at the office or the showroom, and you can leave all of your personal stuff to one side because the actions are taken, you're winning. For me, I track my pipeline the same as anybody else would in business, but my personal pipeline is no different. I'll get up at a time and I'll get up 2 hours before I need to leave the house. That gives me well enough time to organise my day. I've already started preparing my day from the day before. It gives me enough time to go to the gym, and instead of rushing a workout in the morning as 25 minutes and squeezing in a 45-minute full workout, I sit in the gym for an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes because I've got time, and I might start some emails that I'm doing. And some people might say that keep the two different, but it suits me because I'm doing it in a different place. Now I'm ready and I've got maybe 10-15 minutes, and that might be enough time to walk the dog. That might be enough time to make sure that people around me are ready and we're ready to go. And then I've left on my own terms. Now the reverse of that is getting up too late and being disorganised. And that's the really simple things in life that are so easy to overcome. If you're disorganised in the morning, set your clothes out the day before. Don't be the person that wakes up in the morning swearing at the wardrobe because nothing's magically where it's supposed to be. Don't leave the house late and then ring your first meeting and say, I'm so sorry I'm late, the traffic's a nightmare, and they're digging up this road, this person in front of me can't drive. Those things aren't the reason you're late. The reason you're late is you didn't set off giving yourself enough time. Traffic was invented when the second car was produced. There's always going to be someone in front of you. But the feeling again of being early or the feeling of being late, there's such a vast difference that if you thought about leaving yourself half an hour early and being half an hour early, any athlete will tell you that being 15 minutes early is being on time. And we should treat times as no different. We all fall into a habit of overcommitting and saying, I'll be there at that time or I'll be there at this time, when it's not possible, because it means you'd have to leave on the dot. It means you'd have to be no traffic. It means that no one would have to interrupt your day or interrupt your flow. It's just about taking these times and these extra steps. It's all about keeping your life and tracking your life like a pipeline. Start treating your own life as if it was your business. Also start treating yourself as if you're the client for yourself. So if you were looking after the client and your job was to make sure that client was leaving at 8 a.m. every day, packed and prepared, well, I'd probably imagine, if you're looking at a course or working with me, that you've probably got that about you. That you could make sure that if your job was solely to make sure that I'm up and my gym stuff's ready and my gym routine and my vitamin shakes are ready in the morning, that's done. I'm pretty much sure that after I've had a shower, my clothes for the day are left out and a couple of meals that are prepared, which is no big deal to do, are ready. And there's a few drinks and my laptop's ready, my car's full of fuel and it's clean. I'm pretty sure you could take care of that, and I think if that was your full-time job, you'd laugh it off. Start doing that for yourself. If you start tracking your own life like a pipeline and making these small changes and setting yourself up for success, you're winning. If you don't do any of that, you're setting yourself up every day for failure, and then you'll take it out on the first person, you'll take it out on the next person. But sadly, in a business, that could be a client, a co-worker, your boss, your friend, your family, your wife, your spouse, your children. So if you start tracking your life with intent and start tracking your life like you run your business, there is no difference, then both will succeed. The better you track your own life, the easier it is to track your business. A scary lesson in life is when you start thinking that you are history. Now, at some point, you won't be here, unfortunately. And how you've left or your legacy will actually continue or not. You might be the type of person that thinks, I'm not asked what people think about me, or I'm not bothered what people think about me, and I'm going to do this and I don't care about that, and I'm just going to do this, and I'm going to go out on Fridays and I get paid on a Friday and I spend all the money all weekend and I don't leave anything for the Monday and I don't care, and if my children don't do something, I'll scream and shout at them. Or there's loads of bad traits that most people have, and it could even be in respect of how you speak to other people or how you deal with people in the business. If you take a step back and consider that you're history, what that actually means is when you're not in a room, what do people say about you? What if someone asks your child or son, daughter, friend, family, mother, daughter, partner, say, what are they like? What do they do? What do they want? Hey, I've seen them around. What do they do? Or what if someone actually said to them, describe you in one word? What would they say? Now, chances are you've probably not immediately thought of a positive word, but that's probably not true. You're looking for self-development, increasing performance. That's probably vital, and you'd probably surprise yourself that people actually do think a lot of you, but it is sometimes scary to think of these small actions that we do. Now, you could be the type of person that's usually late, or if someone cuts you up on the road and you feel this invisible force field where you scream and shout at people. But I can tell you, you'll change someone's day by letting them cross the road. You'll change someone's day by flashing them and letting them out of a street. Now, there's loads of different characteristics in life we can see that are positive, and they're all really small bits. It's acts of kindness, it's acts of giving back, and it's acts of community spirit and volunteering. These are the things why people will remember you. I deal a lot in sport, and a sad part of sport is before a lot of football games, we have to give a minute's round of applause as a celebration of someone's life, and that's sad. However, when you're dealing with the families of the people that are in the football stadiums or sports stadiums, they're round because that person's made a meaningful change in all these people's lives, and that's a round of applause. And I'm sure if you think about a sporting event you've been to, that's said. Now, that shouldn't be uncommon. That should be when people think back to the goodness of yourself. Now, these are the changes we need to start making now, because that probably meant something to you, to think that your history and how you can make these changes and push forward. Remember, somebody is talking about you in a room that you're not in, and what are they saying? That's sales, because that's how you're portraying yourself. That's how you portray yourself on a daily basis, but that's the intentional way you've portrayed yourself. Have you portrayed yourself as someone who's out of shape at the moment? someone who doesn't care about their appearance at the moment, or someone who's, I don't know, scruffy, lazy at the moment? Is that how you portray yourself? If you portray yourself as someone who doesn't care, or someone who isn't bothered, someone who screams and shouts at the sideline, or someone who swears at people driving on the road, that's probably not you. That's probably a rut you've fallen into. But that shows in every walk of life, whether you're queuing up for a coffee or you're queuing up in a restaurant. These are the little changes that, if it has resonated some with you, start thinking about the most positive view of yourself. Sales Ready exists to pull out of you the sales ready version of yourself that you want to achieve. I will never know you as well as you know yourself. But I would ask for all of your negative characteristics of a person that you portray. So if you work in sales, tell me all of the characteristics of what somebody does in sales that's wrong. Whether the things that you've done or whether you've seen someone do them. Start thinking about all the characteristics of someone in your job role. Whether you're a father or a mother or a parent or a carer. Start thinking about all these different traits that you think are negative traits that you see people do. You're probably guilty of some. We all are, of course. But then we start reframing them to say these are the traits of all the positive points that people can do. So can we be on time, smart, presentable, basic standards? Can we love the one we're with? Can we stop prejudging? How can we be better at negotiating if we want to get a task done? Can we delegate that task? Can we be smarter, fitter, faster, body for purpose? Can we start being ready for tomorrow today? Can we start working with community? Can we start working volunteering? Can we look past today's sale and start concentrating on selling to that customer again to make this interaction better? Can you be the person, whether that customer needs something, they ring you and ask you for help because you've asked the magic question, ask for help? Do they like you? Do they trust you? Do they understand you? If you can bottle all those things up, you've created your own version. You are now sales ready. That is what I want you to be. That is what you want you to be. That's what we all want to be. And that's what I strive for every day. If you're struggling with sales conversions and you're struggling moving your pipeline to your bottom line, I have an easy to work 21-step framework that's suitable for all new sales, managing directors, CEOs, business owners, anybody. If you want to work with me and you want to see what this does for you in your own time, visit www.salesready.co.uk.